Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the call. Good morning to everybody in the States that have joined us. My name is Dr. Kirk Visnick. I'm up in Fargo, North Dakota. It's sun is just starting to come up, and I know down in Australia the sun's just starting to go down. So today we want to talk about an important subject. We've been talking a lot about products, and we spend a lot of time talking about products because, of course, Sisel is a product company, and we're going to make most of our money from helping people get on the right products and enjoy the products and become happy, healthy customers. But there's another side to it, and a lot of people, probably a majority of people that get into network marketing, they get into it because they want to make some money, or they want to make enough money that their products are free. And so I was just looking up something this morning before I got on the call, and this kind of drives me a little bit batty. But a lot of people they get into network marketing, or they get into the MLM industry, and they think that it's some kind of a get rich quick scheme. And I just want to really kind of say that although network marketing, you can make some money pretty fast, it's not a get rich quick thing. But people seem to get into it, and they think that they're going to sign the distributor agreement, and all of a sudden they're going to start just rolling in the bucks, and they've signed their golden ticket and things like that. But, just like any business, you got to have an understanding of how to make the money. And then once you have an understanding of it, then the wealth and the success can really be earned. And what I try and tell people, it's a concentrated effort. You follow a plan, and you just persist until you succeed. And really, we all know that anything worth anything, it takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes hard work. And so we see a lot of people that get into the industry, and they'll say, well, I'll try it, right? I'll try it. And sometimes when somebody says, well, I'll give it a try, or sometimes I almost don't want to even sign those people up, because that they're going to be in it for 60 or 90 days, and then what's going to happen is then they're going to quit, and then you're going to see on their blog that, oh, this is a scam, that the industry is a scam. But what I try and tell people is that if you look at traditional business, if you went out and started a traditional business, it's somewhere close to 90% of traditional businesses fail. But you don't see anybody writing on their website or on their blog, oh, that realty business, it's a scam, or that insurance business, oh, that's a scam, or that car wash business, that's a scam. But it's kind of funny how people in this industry, if it doesn't work, if they don't put the time in, and that all of a sudden the industry is a scam. So what we're going to talk about today is a little bit about kind of having the right mentality about how to do it, and like I try and tell people, if you talk to 100 people today and you ask them specifically what do they want out of their life, I'm going to say that it's a good percentage of those people really wouldn't have a really clear answer. I'll bet that not very many of them have a written down plan or a written down goal sheet on what they're going to do. So you think about that. People are kind of just floating around in the world, and they just think that it's going to work for them. And what happens is that, they just don't understand it. So when they see somebody that's successful, right away they start thinking, oh, that guy's got to be doing something wrong. He's got to be cheating somebody. And they just, they don't understand business. They don't understand how it works. And we see that all the time. But most businesses, they take a while to become profitable, and you got to be realistic with it, and so like with my chiropractic clinic, I mean, it took a couple of years before I could really say it was profitable. But most people will go to a job for 40 years, and by the time they hit 65, I mean, they're still broke just like they were the whole time. And a lot of people, they'll go to college and they spend 4 years in college and they get out with this degree, which is just really a piece of paper. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get a job, and it's not a guarantee that you're going to make a lot of money. I mean, I know people who graduate with a 4-year degree, and they're serving coffee and working as a barista in a coffee shop. So people in the network marketing industry, they have to understand that in order to get something out, you got to put something in. And so I just tell people, this is really a simple business to understand, but it's really not easy, right? I mean, the work is going to be hard, but if you just sit there and you're persistent and you keep doing it consistently day after day after day, you're going to find that it's going to work, because it really isn't a lottery, anything like that. And get rich quick, well, I mean, really in comparison to a traditional job, I would say, yeah, it really is get rich quick. I mean, but quick isn't 60 days or 90 days. Quick is, I mean, what if you were making an extra $2,000-3,000 a month working an hour a day? What if it took you 5 years to do that? I mean, really, compared to your traditional job, I mean, if you put an hour a day in, how many years would it take before your boss would say, hey, you're working hard an hour a day. Here's $5,000 a month for you. You've been doing it for 5 years now, right? I mean, how many people? Raise your hand if that's you. I mean, and I can tell you that I doubt if I'd see any hands up. And so there are people that will do well in the industry. And the big key is, don't just go chasing the shiny objects from place to place. Don't go looking at, oh, here's the next one. Oh, there's another shiny ball over there. I'll go chase that one now. And then when that one falls apart, then I'm going to go chase this one over here. So really, that's kind of one of the things that I like to tell people right away, is that if you're willing to put in some work, if you're willing to learn some rules, we can really make this thing happen. And so the first step that I try and tell people is that when you get started, I mean, no matter what level you come in, and if you come in at a bronze level and with $50 in volume, let's go out and let's go find a way of helping you get your money back, so that you can say, I got into the network marketing industry and I've already made enough money that I got my initial investment back. What if you come in at silver and you spent $100? Same thing. Let's go out and do that. If you come in at the gold level at 200 in volume, let's do the same thing. Any level that you come in at, let's say that you come in at the builder pack with $1,000 in volume, right? You come in at the master level. What's your goal right away? What's it going to take for me to help you get your money back right away? Because that should be your goal. And once you get your money back, so you can say that now you're in it for nothing. And then what we want to do is we want to make that a consistent monthly income for you, so that you can say, yeah, I'm in Sisel. It doesn't cost me a dime. They pay me to lose weight. They pay me to look beautiful. They pay me to grow my hair back. They pay me to do this. They pay me to take the products, right? Because bottom line, isn't that a great way of prospecting to people? Is that if you say, I'm getting paid to take these products, people are going to sit up and listen to you when you say that. So that should be your first goal. And then the second goal that I try and tell people is that now that we've got you so your products are free, the next thing we need to do is help you make a little bit of income. Like, let's say let's make you so you're making $500 a month, right? And really, to me, $500 a month, if you look at here in the States anyhow, I don't know about in Australia, but $500 a month, they say that would probably save over half of divorces, because most divorces are fights over money. They say that $500 a month would save half of the bankruptcies, people who are going through bankruptcies, just a simple $500 a month. So that should be your second goal, is how do we make it so that you're doing that, or you're helping your new distributor do that. And then the third goal, once we've gotten to that, to where that's consistently, and I'll tell you folks, if you help everybody get to that level, 70% of people are going to be happy as flies on something. You know, they're going to be happy as they can be because you help them make an extra $500 a month, and they're going to be satisfied with that free product. They're getting paid to take the product. But there's going to be that 30% of people who are, they're going to say, I want to make more. And so we're talking $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. And that's really what we want to do with that next group of people, is how do we get them to that income level to where they're having a life-changing event, a real life-changing event, where all of a sudden, you know, they're out there driving the nicest cars, right? And they can say, yeah, my company bought me that car. Or they're going out and they're like Trevor, and they want a big fancy boat, and they want to be able to, you know, travel around the world on their big yacht and fish off the back of it, or maybe pull a fishing boat behind it, and they can say, yeah, my company bought me that. And so that's really what I'm talking about, and that's really, you know, kind of the deal. So today what we're going to do is I've invited a couple of my business partners, a couple of people that everybody knows and we work with and all of that to get on, and let's just talk about today a little bit. We're not going to get into the compensation plan so much. We're going to do that next Thursday. Next Thursday we're going to spend some time, and we're really going to break down the comp plan, and we're going to tell you how to make $1,000 a month. Specifically, what do you need to do to make $1,000 a month? Again, 70% of people are going to be happy as pie if they're making an extra $1,000 a month, putting in minimal time. And then next Saturday, you know, in about 9 days, what we're going to do is then we're going to talk a little bit more about what do you need to do to make that bigger income, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. And we're going to go through the compensation plan, and I'm going to bring some people on that'll help us share some information on that, so that we can really break that down for everybody. And so you know, let's get excited about that. Let's teach people what they really need to know, because I'll tell you what, if you're getting paid to take the products, you're not going to quit. You're not going to quit taking them if they're paying you to take the products. And I just love it. I mean, I've tried almost every product. You know, I'm not like Sandy where I buy the makeup and all that stuff. I mean, number one, I don't need it. I'm pretty dang good looking without makeup. Just kidding. But anyhow, Katie, Sandy, I think Trevor, I think you were all going to speak today. And if you want to hit *6, Katie, if you want to get started, and I know you were going to kind of be the moderator, so I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay, great. So, I guess, Kurt, we're just going to talk backwards and forwards. And so, if someone's getting started, what is if they want to qualify for commissions each month? What is the first thing they have to be doing? You know, what do you tell them?
Well, if somebody just gets started today, here's what I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say, hey, Katie, you just got started. And so everything that you're going to make, what money's going to go into your checkbook, into your e-wallet tomorrow, next day, is going to be what we call fast start bonuses. Don't worry about commissions yet. You don't need to worry about that. We're going to have some time. We're going to have at least 30 days to help you make some commissions. But right now, we're talking about bonuses. And where you make your bonuses, let's go out and find some new people. Let's go out and find you some new customers. Let's go out and find you some new distributors. And you're going to get paid a 20% fast start bonus on everybody that you bring into the system. So that's what I tell people, Katie.
Okay, and how much should I be ordering each month? And do I need to order each month to, you know, get a commission?
To get a commission or get the fast start bonus. Now, if you're just getting started, I'll tell you what, I mean, you can get started for as low as $50. You can get started for more than that. But I'm going to tell you this, is that you got to come in where you feel comfortable. If you feel comfortable buying $50 worth of product, well, then that's where you're going to start. If you feel comfortable buying more than that, let's figure out what products you need, what products you want. And then the last thing that I'm going to say, Katie, is that, you know, for me, look, I mean, I get paid 20%. When I get you started, I get paid 20%. So if you come in at a platinum level, which is $250 in volume, you know what? I'm going to make 20%, so I'm going to make $50. If you come in at bronze, which is $50, I'm going to make $10, right? And I tell people this. I said, no matter whether it's $10 or $50 or anything in between, you know what? That's not a lot of money. And so you have to decide for yourself. It's not for me to decide that. But what I'm going to tell you is the amount of work that you're going to put in is going to be the same at each level, whether you come in or bronze or silver or gold or platinum, because I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things, a couple of tasks to get started. And then the fast start bonus is the same. You're going to get paid that 20% fast start no matter which one of those levels you come in at. But here's the key. People don't do what you say, they do what you do. They look at what you do. They say, Katie, what did you do? And if Katie says, well, I got started at $50, you know what? Your new distributor is going to come in at $50. If you say, I got started at platinum, then they're probably going to come in at platinum because they do as you do, they don't do as you say. And so what we want to do is you want to think of, what am I going to do to teach the right activity? And so I tell people, if you want to do it right, if you're doing this as a business, come in at platinum. If you're doing this as a hobby and you don't care if you get your products for free, come in at 50. If all you can afford is 50, come in at 50. But if you're doing it as a business and you really want to make some money, come in at the platinum level. How's that?
Great. And so, Kurt, if I'm just getting started and I say to you, Kurt, what's this auto ship? I mean, what's the importance of doing that if I'm building a business?
Well, I'll tell you that, you know, auto ship, and like DW said, it's, you know, maybe quit using the word auto ship and start calling it home delivery. And what that really means is this, is that, you know, every month you need to have products to qualify. You have to be in the business in order to get paid to do the business. And that's just part of the qualification with every network marketing company. And really, how can you expect to sell the products if you're not taking them yourself? So you want to be on the products. You want to find out what products, because again, people are going to do as you do, not as you say. So if you say, you know, like me, I tell people, look, I take all the products except for pretty much the cosmetics and the inner chi for her. All the other products, yeah, I've pretty much been on them, and I try all of them, and then I figure out which ones do I want, which ones do I need every day. And to me, it's not a matter of which ones do I want, it's which ones do I need, because I'm 55 years old, and I want to feel like I'm 20. And I want to be alive till I'm 110. Which products do I need to make that happen? So I put them on what we call a home delivery. It comes every month. And the reason that you want that, in order to answer your question, the reason that you want that is because if you forget to place your order, if you just say, I'm going to do it on my own, if you forget, guess what you don't get next month? You don't get paid. So auto delivery, auto pay.
Great. And so, Kurt, has anyone ever asked you before, Kurt, I want to get started and I'd love to make, you know, I need to make $1,000 this month, and, you know, what do I need to do? Have they ever said that to you?
Yeah, a lot of people say that to me, and I say, great. First thing we need to do is we need to decide, what are you going to do? And then once you decide what you're going to do, then let's go to work. Let's dig in. Let's go to work. And then what I tell people is I say, first thing I'm going to ask you to do, no matter what level you come in at. You come in at bronze, I'm going to tell you to do the same thing that I tell you to do at platinum. What I'm going to do is, Katie, I'm going to call you back tomorrow. What I want you to do tonight is I want you to list a list of 5 people that you would like to be in your $1 million a year business. What 5 people would you just love to have in your $1 million a year business with you? You want them to be on your board of directors. I'm going to call you tomorrow, and together we're going to call those 5 people, and we're going to talk to them first. If you need to make $1,000 by the end of the week, I'll tell you what, Katie, you make 20%, and so if you look at that, $1,000. Let's see. That would be how much volume would you need to 20% to get that? So 5,000 in volume will pay you $1,000. So let's go out in the next week. Let's find $5,000 in volume, and you can't control what people are going to buy. So I'm not going to tell you let's go enroll 20 people, because it might take 50. It might take 100 people buying $50 in product. What if you have a bunch of bronze friends, right? You don't know. So let's just talk volume. We need 5,000 in volume. Let's go out and get to work. Get the shovel. We're going to start digging.
And so if I'd come in at $1,000, then it's probably more likely, would you say, that I'm going to find other people that are going to come in at that level, so it's going to be faster to reach the the initial, the $1,000 in the month than if I'm...
Oh, definitely, because you know what? If you go out looking for people, if you're looking for people who want to start a business and they're that serious that they'll invest $1,000 in themselves, and that's what they're doing. They're investing $1,000 in themselves. They're buying enough product that they have some samples. They can go out and they can sample it. They're buying coffee. They're buying tea. They're buying sizzling shake samples. They're buying exfoliant samples. They're buying products that they can have people go out and test and things like that. Yeah, I mean, man, I'll tell you what. If you can go out and find 5 people that'll do that, holy cow! I mean, you'll build your business up that much quicker. You betcha.
And Kurt, what would you say to someone if they said, "I'd really love to do that, but I feel uncomfortable asking someone to make that type of investment"?
Well, I mean, you got to remember that really, I mean, you shouldn't feel uncomfortable about it, because you're helping them. You're helping them. You're helping them, introducing them a way that they can generate an extra income. Like I said, I mean, if you explain it right, if you do it right, they won't feel uncomfortable at all. And here's the thing that you really have to learn: you can't say you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and it's just a matter of being honest. Don't beat around the bush and things like that. You'll know. I mean, just based on their reaction, and you can, even over the phone, I mean, you can feel what somebody's thinking just over the phone, and always be thinking, if it makes you uncomfortable to say it, what do you think those people on the other end are thinking? So if it's uncomfortable for you, don't say it. Come up with a different way of saying it, and because people are going to say, "Hey, Katie, what did you do?" And you can say, "Well, I came in at $1,000 because I'm serious about my business, and I decided that I was going to make this thing work. I'm not going to be one of those guys that's going to fail. So I decided to come in at the highest level." But you don't have to do that. But you see how by saying that, you're giving it to them, but then you're taking it away. And I think the takeaway is so important. I've used that all my business life, as the takeaway.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And so when you're enrolling someone, what's the difference between, people hear a lot about, an enrolling sponsor and then the placement sponsor. Can you, how would you best explain that to someone?
Well, if you're the enrolling sponsor, what happens is that on that fast start bonus, you're the first person in line on the fast start bonus. And so you get paid the 20%. And then 4 levels above you, they get paid 5%, 5%, 5% above you. So that's the deal, right? Now, if you give up the enrollment, let's say that I'm enrolling my friend Bob Johnson, but I say, well, no, I'm going to make Katie the enrolling sponsor. Now she's going to get the 20%, and I'm only going to get the 5%. And so that's the difference there. So I always, and I tell people, I mean, I don't give up the enrolling part of it, because I'm the one doing the work. And so if I'm doing the work, then I want to get paid that 20%. And that's how everybody really should be. You did the work, you get paid the most, okay? And so a placement, so Now, a placement, what that does is if I enroll somebody and I go, hey, I got somebody here that really wants to learn about the makeup, and they really want to do more or less like a Mary Kay type of business, all those types of things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place those people appropriately. I'm going to put them somewhere else in my downline. I might call Sandy, for example, and I'll say, hey, Sandy, I know you understand this makeup stuff, this cosmetic stuff really good. I'm going to put this person in your downline. Would you help them out? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get her to agree that she's going to work with my new person, and she's going to help that person build their business. Now, depending on where they are in your downline, so we and we'll talk about this next week when we talk about the comp plan in specifics. But we get paid on commissions now on the second month. On the second month that they make their product, you don't get paid 20%. If they're on your front line, you make 2%. On your second level, they make 8%. On your third level, they make 10%. And so what I tell people is then the third month, if all they're going to be is a product taker, or they're going to be somebody that's really not going to be serious about the business, put them in a downline somewhere and make that 8 or 10%. But also what you're doing is you're helping your downline build their volume. You're helping your downline also get paid some commissions on that down the road as well.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Great. So we're coming up to the end of the half hour. I would love to, Sandy, I'm going to put you on the spot, but I'm not going to ask you anything you don't already know because you actually explained it to me really well. So if you wouldn't mind star 6 and unmute yourself. I did want to touch a little bit on the Sisel Live and just how that works with if you've bought a kit, what commission do you get if you bought a kit, and then what does the host get, and then what do you do with that volume, and how much can you make from these events? So if you could just talk a little bit about that, that would be awesome. You there? Star 6? Okay. Well, I'm not sure if we might have lost Sandy, so maybe I'll touch on it because we were discussing this. So if someone's going to get started with Sisel Live, it means they've purchased the Sisel Live kit, which is a beautiful kit that's quite discounted, and it comes with all the skincare except for the night cream. And we're in the beta testing mode here in Australia, and eventually this will be rolled out across Australia-wide. So whilst we're in the testing mode, there is a limited number of a kit. Essentially what happens is that if you purchase a kit, you can host an event, you can hold an event. And so you've got 2 people that gets involved with the event. So you've got the host, so someone you might say, look, hey, would you like to invite a few people around? And, for anything that's ordered that evening, you can earn a host reward. So for every $100 in PV spent, which is close to the dollar value, the host can get any products on the retail list at half price. So that's their incentive to invite some friends around. They can try the products, the skincare, and if that person's got some makeup, that's great. They can try them too. So that's what the host would get. And as the person with the kit, this is a live kit, you can actually earn 30% because when you hold a Sisel Live event, it's considered direct sales. So you're retailing products to people. They don't actually join the business. They don't join as customers. Although they do have the option to, and you can let them know about that, they're not joining as distributors. Essentially what you're doing is, sharing the products, and they can retail the products and purchase them. So that when they actually order some products, the percentage of commission earned on those products for the Sisel Live person who holds the kit and puts the orders through is 30% commission. So, running a Sisel Live events is a nice way to generate some income, and it's considered as part of the direct sales industry as opposed to traditional MLM. So I just wanted to touch on that and just let people know, and that works through the direct commission compensation plan. And whilst at the moment it is just beauty products, which is your skincare and your makeup, that will be extended in the future to include the bathroom products and I imagine all of the range eventually. So that's another option. So Sisel really combines network marketing with the option of direct sales. as well as retail. If you go to a shop, you can let people know about the product if they wanted to retail any of the products in their store. So, yeah, I wanted to finish off there by sharing that. And so probably just one last question I want to ask you, Kurt. How do you manage to grow your business whilst, there's a lot of changes going on during the early stages, of Sisel's growth as a company? What are any key points that you give people?
Yeah, well, can you hear me, Katie? I muted myself, but I'm back in.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the thing that people have to understand is that when you start a business, I started my business, 30 years ago in the chiropractic field, and the industry changes. I mean, man, I remember when I first got started, what we have, it's called Medicare, but it's that government insurance that covers people after they retire. And I don't know what you guys call it down there, but I got out of college and I knew the rules. I knew how to play the game, what I got paid, right? And all of a sudden they quit sending me a check, and I called up the local Medicare office and I said, hey, I'm not getting paid. What's going on? And they said, oh yeah, didn't you hear we changed the rules? And I'm like, no, you didn't send me a notice. They said, oh yeah, we're going to send a notice out next month. And I'm like, really? You changed the rules during the game, and now I got to go back and change how I reported things so that I can get paid. And so it's going to delay me getting paid by 90 days. And so then I had the new rules, and I played by them for the next 2 years, and all of a sudden the paycheck quit coming in again. And I contacted them again, and they said, oh yeah, we changed it again. And I'm like, wow. So in my first few years in practice, I bet Medicare changed the rules 5 or 6 times. I mean, they would just randomly do it, little things, and what it did is it would delay you getting paid. So I kind of got used to that. And so if you're in business, you already know that. You know that things are going to change, and you just kind of got to roll with the punches. You got to roll with it, right? And you learn how to roll with it. For those of you that are just getting into the business, learn that phrase that you just kind of got to roll with it. You got to learn that things are going to change, little things are here and there. There's little rules that, hey, we're bringing this business into Australia, and so the TGA is a little bit different than the FDA. There's some products that will get in right away. There's some products that won't. And so just, what I'm going to tell you is just go out and build the business, build the volume. You're going to get paid on it. And there's going to be little quirks in the comp plan that you're going to have to work around. Like Katie was saying, some products are NFR, some products are on the ground, some products are this, some products are that. But I mean, stick to the what I'm going to call that checkbook mentality, which is, what do you need to do to get paid? Build volume. Find happy, healthy customers that want to be on the products for life. Find people that want to get the products for free, and go out and look for a few of those business builders that, what if you found 5 or 6 people that want to make $10,000 a month, and they don't just want to do it, they're willing to put the time in, they're willing to work. So that's what I tell people, Katie.
Okay, that's awesome. So I think that will finish the call there. We're at 35 minutes now, and as Kurt mentioned, we're going to cover the compensation plan in detail in the coming week.
Next Thursday we'll cover next Thursday same time we'll cover the how to make $1,000 a month, and then next Saturday we'll do a special call on Saturday morning for you guys, Friday night here in the States, and we'll cover the whole idea on the how to make that big money. I've got some friends of mine who have made millions of dollars in the industry, and they'll be on the call with us.
Okay, awesome. So thanks, everyone, for joining us, and look forward to hearing you on the call next week. Take care.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night, and have a good morning here in the States. Bye-bye.